Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. What a game. We move on. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, Rain Dakota Prescott, Ezekiel Elliot, their first playoff victory. I have some Miller Lite here in my brand new Cowboys glass. Gonna take a celebratory sip. You guys pop on with me as we go through this video, this podcast. Miller Lite, of course, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Got to keep it Dallas Cowboys friendly on the channel, of course. But I'm so proud of this team. I'm proud of this organization. They pull out a 24-22 victory over the Seattle Seahawks tonight. You know, going head-to-head, Russell Wilson. All of the naysayers all week long, all of the doubters all week long, talking trash about Dak Prescott, talking trash about this football team. There were topics on Fox Sports 1. This is the worst team in the playoffs. Guys like Sean Merriman, Marcellus Wiley, you name it, backing up these claims on both networks, ESPN as well, talking trash, people picking the Seahawks. You know, even though we had won 7 out of our last 8 games, I guess momentum only matters with every other team except the Cowboys. Guys don't want to acknowledge that. Guys don't want to acknowledge the momentum was real with this team. The momentum was real with this Amari Cooper trade, with everything that they've been building for. And look, we saw with the Amari Cooper trade, the Cowboys establishing essentially their new big three of Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, and Amari Cooper. You look at Dak today, 2 huge touchdowns, 200 yards, 226 yards in the air, another 30-something on the ground, 4 big carries. Zeke Elliott, 26 touches or 26 carries on the ground, 120 yards, another 32 yards in the air. Amari Cooper getting re-engaged in this offense, 7 catches for over 100 yards. Huge catches, big momentum swinging plays. You know, that's something that is tangible and real, coupled with our defense. And look, I've told you guys before on this channel, I've said it the last 3 weeks, our situational defense has been poor. It was poor again tonight at the end of the second half. In the first half, I thought it was very good, and us holding Seahawks to 6 points in that situation. But at the end of the when we got up 24-14, allowing the Seahawks to score so quickly, that is an issue. But throughout the game, the pressure they were able to get on Russell Wilson, and I told you guys in the preview, Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence are going to be very key in their matchups. Now, neither of them had a sack tonight, but the pressure and collapsing the pocket on Russell Wilson and forcing him deep outside to very difficult throws he was forced to make. Russell Wilson also had to throw away a lot of balls tonight, just being forced out of the pocket, not allowing him to have any time to be creative. That's on Randy Gregory. That's on DeMarcus Lawrence. Outstanding job today. And then your defensive tackles. Let's give some credit to Antoine Woods and Malik Collins. Malik Collins did get a sack today. Antoine Woods blowing up screens, being a presence in the run game, being a presence at the point of attack. Outstanding job on 99's part tonight. Jalen Smith had an excellent game as well. I didn't like what we were doing, rotating with Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch. I think it threw Leighton Vander Esch off a little bit. He seemed to find his footing a little bit later in the game. But, Sean Lee just, he didn't have it. I was texting my homeboy. I'm like, man, we got to get Sean up out of there, man. It's not a good fit. But Jalen Smith, played fast tonight, played aggressive. Again, aggressive at the point of attack. Secondary-wise, we struggled a little bit. Especially in situational football. And that does concern me moving forward. But everything that we saw was either perfect throw, we had a contest, or it's correctable. So I'm not too concerned, but that was probably the weak spot of what we gave up defensively. And it's funny because Vegas is always on the ball. I think this game finished at a 2-point Cowboys -2. A lot of people got in Cowboys -2.5. And somehow the Seahawks, if you were at 2.5, the Seahawks covered. So it's just crazy to think about how on point Vegas can be with these things sometimes. Because I did think about that. I'm like, damn, 24-22, Seattle gets that 2-point conversion. Obviously, Sebastian Janikowski blew a tire after his field goal attempt with his 80-pound thigh. And, next thing you know, everything's up in the air in their kicking game. So, but, shout out to the Seahawks. They put forth an amazing effort. They were trying to beat us for a fourth consecutive time, and we weren't having it. It was time for us to bow up. It was time for us to show some backbone to the coaching staff, show some backbone with this offense. And at times, every time they responded, they really did. Look, that 3rd and 14, it looked like we're going to kick a field goal. We're only going to be up 6. Russell Wilson's going to come down and score a touchdown on us. And Dak Prescott said, no, enough's enough. He uses his legs. How long have all of us been clamoring for us just to see him be more of a dual threat quarterback? He has that in his ability, and it's a perfect play call by Scott Linehan. You guys have to give him credit. That is a design run. We had 2 guards upfield. Zach Martin's up there. They're able to seal some blocks, and Dak Prescott's able to make enough plays, or make enough guys miss to get down to the red zone. He ultimately pushes it in to get us up by 2 scores, which really sealed Seattle's fate. So overall, that's my quarterback, man. He's a warrior. He's a winner. I told you guys in the 2-minute drill, you saw what he did in the 2-minute drill before the half. He missed. I don't even say missed, but he was high on the Gallup throw. They go right back to it. They're like, we have the matchup. Let's get a better throw in there. Dots it up. Perfect. Ezekiel Elliot today, MVP on offense, carried the load, outstanding burst. You could tell the rest really did him well. He looked fresh. He looked, he looked fast. Zeke looked really fast tonight. Just had that natural burst that sometimes we haven't seen from him. At times he's looked tired. At times he's looked a little heavy. But tonight he was in peak shape. Peak Zeke. Fresh Zeke is the best Zeke. Fantastic effort on his part tonight. Glad to see Amari Cooper back. Mentioned that earlier, but just glad to see him just re-ingratiate and everything. Also, our thoughts and condolences are with Alan Hearns. The injury that he suffered, as we're talking about the wide receiver group, catastrophic ankle injury. We all saw it. Don't have to rehash any of that. But prayers with that brother as it's going to be a tough road for him, especially as a football player and a position where he relies on quickness and athleticism to do his job. It's going to be tough for him to get back into the NFL, to be honest with you, after an injury like that. Looked really, really horrible. Hopefully he's able to recover and regain all of his ability. That's my prayer for him, because that's real tough. And he seemed to start to be developing a little bit, with Dak, and made a great catch for us. And honestly, man, just thank you for your service as a Cowboy, and good luck to you and your family through this recovery process, because it's going to be tough. And I know, you can see the emotion, not just on his face, obviously for him, the pain and the emotion of him wanting it, but his teammates as well. I thought that was tough. And even the Seahawks players as well. So, as I said, condolences and prayers for Alan Hearns. Tavon Austin, speaking of the wide receiver group, welcome back. We talked. I think I actually mentioned him last week in the Giants game. Just his presence in our offense, on the team, his presence on special teams today, remarkable. We got called obviously for the holding penalty where he did house the punt return. I like the fact that no one hung their head on special teams and we're able to make a big play later in the game. Now, we didn't cash in. We had the interception to Noah Brown. A little too much Noah Brown for me tonight, Scott. Just throwing that out there. Just a little too much. I'm not saying Noah Brown shouldn't play. I'm not saying there isn't a role for him. Just a little too much. That's a side note. But Tavon Austin, the motion throws defensive off. You have to account for his speed, and you have to account for his playmaking ability. Those jet sweeps, the screen passes, quick outs to him. He's remarkable. He's remarkable in space, and quite frankly, he doesn't actually get the football enough. So if we can figure out a way to get him even more involved as we move forward, whether we're playing the Saints or the Rams, we have a big obstacle in front of us. We need all hands on deck. He showed that creativeness. You see you still see the reason why he was the number 8 pick in the draft. When he gets full speed, when he gets going, you can't tackle the guy. It's unbelievable speed. It's unbelievable quickness, and he's a special athlete when he's in space. I think it's incumbent upon our coaching staff to figure out more creative ways to get him into space and exploit it against the defense. But again, his presence was felt tonight, just like it was felt in the Giants game on that 2-point conversion and other plays that we executed to beat them the week before. So overall, guys, I'm just ecstatic. We'll have some more content coming out. Please, please, please remember to follow us on all social media platforms as we move forward. I'll make another video just going more in depth on this game later this week, as well as once we know who our opponent will be, who we're going to go up against, and breaking that down. I want to go into more matchups with the defense as well. I thought our defensive line was outstanding tonight, but we do have to button up some things in the secondary if we want to advance to the NFC Championship game. So overall, great night for our boys. Great night for Cowboys fans. I'll take another sip with you guys with the Cowboys glass. How about them? How about them, guys? Appreciate y'all. Like I said, follow us on social media. How about them?